Hello, beautiful mama. Welcome to Navigating Motherhood with Confidence. I'm Dr. Sarah Hardy, naturopathic doctor, mother, and creator of vitalitynaturalhealth.ca. This program supports informed, intuitive mothering by providing reliable information on a variety of family health topics and featuring moms who are nourishing the connection with their inner wisdom and integrating it into real life every day. In episode 5, I'm chatting with Andrea Lavery from Bellanova Women's Wellness. Andrea is a mom, doula, and yoga instructor passionate about helping moms connect to vibrant health, feminine spirit, and a beautiful community of kindred support.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Navigating Motherhood with Confidence. I'm really excited today to welcome Andrea Lavery from Bellanova Women's Wellness here in Nova Scotia. Andrea, tell us a little bit about your favorite practice for nourishing the connection with your inner wisdom.
For me, it's been more of a journey of finding different practices that have connected me to my own kind of intuition, and one practice has opened the door to another and another. So I wouldn't say that I have one favorite in particular, but I definitely have a couple that are really resonating with me right now at this stage of being a mom. And those are yoga for sure. So you mentioned I was a yoga teacher, and I found yoga a few years ago, and that was the original thing that opened the door to a bunch of different practices. So becoming more aware of my body led me to finding a practice with needing to fuel that body, so nutrition. And then once your body's taken care of, it opens up, I can pay attention to my mind. So that's when, maybe you start bringing in a meditation practice. Journaling has been huge for me, especially since getting pregnant again. So just journaling, free writing down everything that's coming into my mind, just being aware of my own thoughts. And then I would say the biggest ones, especially since becoming a mother, that integrate into my life on a daily basis are mindfulness, a practice of being mindful, and gratitude. And they all kind of really connect really well together, all of those practices. But I would say that those are the ones that are there right now.
Absolutely. I love that you speak to sort of the evolution of that process, because I think that for some moms, or for women in general, they'll hear about a particular type of practice that helps them connect with their intuition, or very simply just calm their mind from the day to day. And if it doesn't work for them, they get discouraged. And so that's sort of where the process stops. And so, like I say, I love how you mentioned that evolution of the process of, here's the opening of the door with yoga, but as you journeyed into yoga and, like you say, nourished yourself on a physical level, that allowed you that opportunity to go within and to really discover the things that work best for you.
Exactly. And that's why it's not just one thing, it's multiple things, and it's so different for everyone else. So, another thing, there's so much more to it, like finding a community of people that are like-minded. Like, that's a huge practice that I think a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to. And that alone can be the one thing that gets a lot of women relaxed, being able to talk to somebody. So it really is, it's finding what's best for you and what's going to connect you to yourself. And it might take a really long time to find that. I came to yoga almost 10 years ago now, and to see how much has changed over that 10 years, if you had told me 10 years ago that I would be where I am now with my own intuition and my own understanding of myself, I would laugh. I would be like, no. So it definitely is. It's a matter of being patient and just, continuing to find what's valuable for you and what's helping you connect.
Absolutely. So in your transition into motherhood, how have you noticed that those different practices integrate into real life as a mom?
Yeah. So I think that's kind of like the key question there of how do you take, especially like the practices I just listed, how do you take that and fit that into everything else we have going on as moms, as people. You know, we've got so much going on in our lives, and I think as soon as we have children, we really recognize how valuable time is, and our personal freedom has become so limited by the needs of our family and our children. So we really took for granted time and freedom before we had kids, and I don't think we realized, you know, how valuable it is until it's limited. So, you know, not being able to go to sleep when you want to, or not being able to eat when you want to. So how do you take all of those things and put them into a daily kind of life? And I think that's where it becomes really trying and very difficult and frustrating for a lot of people. So for myself, I truly believe that becoming aware of your intuitive nature and connecting to it through the practices that help you, through those practices, you can integrate them actually quite well into your life. And I think that by becoming aware of them, you are learning how to value what's nourishing you. So for me, all of those practices are what keep me sane. And I know that like those things have to fit into my life somewhere because I value them so much. They are the things that keep me so nourished and so healthy. And that just ends up nourishing the people in my life and the experiences of my life as well. So I think, again, being able to understand and connect to what really, you know, fuels you and what really fuels your connection is one of the most important things, because you're going to make it valuable. And once you know it's valuable, you're going to take that limited time you have and you're going to be able to squeeze it in. You're going to push out the stuff that isn't valuable anymore. That's where mindfulness, I think, comes in. And just being aware, the more aware we are of how we're feeling in each moment, it gives us a better understanding of what is valuable to us. And once we figure that out, it really allows us to act and live with intention. So we know what's important to us. I know for me that yoga is going to keep my body healthy enough that it's not getting in the way of other things. So for me, getting that time every week to do a yoga practice, and you know, some people say yoga teacher, you must be doing yoga, you know, every day, you're practicing all the time. No, I have like 1 hour a week that I commit to doing a distraction-free practice. And that's it, because that's all I can fit in with everything else that's on the go. And then, you know, I squeeze in, you know, 5-20 minutes here and there based on what maybe my body needs in that moment. But it's really figuring out, you know, what's important to you. And once you know that, you can squeeze out the, oh, I don't need to watch TV tonight, or, you know, I don't need to see this person this week because this is more important, right?
When you're having one of those days that life is just sort of throwing things at you, and it seems sort of go, and there's what feels like no time to fit things in, are there some tips or ways that you can share with the audience today about how you connect with mindfulness in those moments, or connect with a brief yoga practice in those moments?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I think that's where mindfulness becomes so important. And I can say for myself, and I feel like a lot of mothers will resonate with this, I think that mindfulness and motherhood really go hand in hand because of that personal freedom, because of those limitations. So we really have to start accepting those limitations as moms. And yes, it's so difficult, but we can't necessarily change it. And so that's where mindfulness becomes so important to us, is on those times when things just aren't going the way that we necessarily want them to, or that we expect them to, being able to accept without judgment or without criticizing what's going on in that moment is so important. And I think that mothers have a really big opportunity to be able to take advantage of that because of these limitations on our own freedom. So for me, for example, something that comes to mind that I'm sure most moms can resonate with is you have a new baby and you have to get up throughout the night to feed that baby. And that is really exhausting. And we can get really emotional about it. We can get really upset and really frustrated. And a lot of times our mind will go to how can I change this? I just want this baby to sleep. I just need sleep. And mindfulness comes into play. I'm not trying to say mindfulness is sugarcoating. We need to pretend that it's not happening or that we're not exhausted, but it's more accepting where we are, accepting that we're exhausted, that our baby needs us, accepting that it's difficult, accepting the challenges, and trying not to get hard on ourselves because of it. And then we realize by accepting that we are exhausted in that moment, that that's something that we need, that's something that we value. So if you're going through the run of your day and you're saying, oh, this is happening and this is happening, my kids are acting this way, or I'm not getting any sleep at night, you're learning what's really important for you. And that gives you the opportunity to act with intention moving forward. So in that example of a mom getting up 5 times a night and noticing how exhausted she is, that's where you're like, okay, I can't change it in this moment. I just need to breathe. I just need to accept that here I am supporting my baby in this moment. But what can I do moving forward to get the sleep that I need, to get the support that I need? Maybe I need to call someone and have them come and watch my child tomorrow so I can get some rest. Or maybe I need to ask my partner for more help, or reach out to someone to get that support. So it's trying not to change the situation in the moment when it's not changeable. And that can be really hard. And that's why I think mindfulness is actually a practice, because you really do need to practice it.
Absolutely. And what a relief that feels. I just felt sort of a weight lift. I'm remembering those early days of getting up through the night 5, 6, 7 times and being like, oh my gosh, again?
Yeah.
Like you say, in that moment, to just take a deep breath and say, you know what, this is how it is right now. This isn't how it's always going to be. Yes, it's exhausting. And like you say, this means that, wow, sleep and energy are really important to me. And it's going to be a tough go for a little bit, but exactly as you said it, like, who can I recruit to help? We don't have to be an island. We don't have to do it all ourselves. And what other things can I be doing on a day-to-day basis that give me a little bit of extra energy? So sleep's the big one that's missing right now, but what's something else I could be doing to get a little bit more energy or feel a little bit more nourished, so that the sleep stuff doesn't seem so big?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so important to recognize too that feeling of being frustrated or being upset. Like, I remember waking up and just bawling my eyes out in those first couple of weeks and being like, how do people do this? And it's so important to recognize that we're not trying to say that that's wrong. We want that. We want to be able to say, that's your body telling you that you need something, that something is challenging, right? And I think that's the biggest thing that comes with mindfulness is the lessons that you're learning. So you can't necessarily change a situation in the exact moment that it's happening. We can only control ourselves. We can't control the people around us or necessarily the circumstances that are going on, but we can learn from it. And I think that is the biggest value that comes from being mindful and being able to take the time in the moments that we're kind of like, and go, what do I need to make sure that I don't feel like this moving forward, right? Accepting where you are, what do I need so that tomorrow this doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I again, sort of like a deep breath, like, oh, that lifts so much of the pressure off of just giving that pause. Andrea, do you have a practice that you could guide us through today, a short practice, so that some of the moms that are listening can get an idea of what that practice might look like if they haven't done it before?
Yeah, so a really good practice to connect to mindfulness is a breathing practice. So in yoga, we talk a lot about pranayama. That's the name of the practice. It's like your energy, your life. When we think of our breath, we don't live without our breath. It's what gives us life. It's the keys to the car, so to speak. So it's literally the most vital thing that we need in our lives. And I think it's so undervalued because it's so automatic. We don't have to pay attention to it. So by bringing our attention to it, it's such a good way to begin to practice mindfulness, because we're bringing our awareness into our own body. So a really good way to just kind of start, if you've only got a few minutes every day, is to just find a seated position, whether you're in your chair right now, whether you're sitting on the floor or the couch. Just sit down, feel your bones on your seat, feel yourself ground down, and then find a nice tall spine. So really feel yourself come out of your waist, feel your shoulders drop down your back, feel the crown of your head reaching up, finding that nice length in your spine. And then from there, you can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, whatever's comfortable for you, and just begin to notice your body. Before we even notice our breath, just begin to notice how your body feels. Is there anywhere that's tense? You know, feel your jaw. Is your jaw tense? Do you need to relax your jaw? You know, maybe you need to lick your lips. Maybe you need to wave your arms a little bit. Loosen up, just whatever you need in this moment. And then we're going to begin to connect to our breath. So we're going to notice our inhales coming in through our nose, coming down, expanding our belly, and then just coming back out. Our belly is drawing back in towards our spine. Our breath is coming back out our nose. And just taking a few breaths here and noticing it. Noticing how it's coming into the nostrils. Noticing how your belly's expanding. Paying attention maybe to how shallow your breath is or how deep it is. By becoming aware of these few things in our body, this air energy coming in, we can kind of notice how it's affecting other systems. Maybe when we breathe in, we take a nice deep breath in, we feel some pain in our body somewhere. So now we can send that breath to that area of our body. It's such a good opportunity to become connected to what's going on inside of you. So taking another few deep breaths in here and allowing them to release. And then we can begin to deepen the breath, so we can start bringing a count in. So with your next inhale, counting to 4, and then releasing to 4. And just doing that a few times begins to slow down our nervous system. And staying connected, you know, a lot of times different thoughts will come in, and just allowing them to come and then connecting back to your breath. And then just noticing after a couple of minutes of conscious, aware breathing, how different your body feels. You know, maybe when you started, your breath was really shallow and in your chest. And maybe now you can bring your hands to your belly. And when you take a big inhale, you can really feel your belly expand. And then really feel it come back in. So your breath is moving even deeper into your body. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and maybe take a stretch and hopefully move forward with a bit more focus and clarity.
Yes. It's such a fantastic practice that you just shared with us, Andrea, for taking that pause. Mm-hmm. You know, it was short. It didn't demand a whole lot of time. We didn't need any supplies except for that pause. Um, and it's a lovely thing to notice when we're sort of moving with our day. Maybe it's feeling like a chaos kind of day. And with noticing that, pairing it with a brief practice of breathing like that. I agree with you. We don't think of breathing often because it's so automatic.
Exactly.
But it's such a huge, valuable, useful, accessible tool.
Exactly. And it can be integrated. You know, we don't need, I think in a situation like this, a lot of times moms will go, oh, well, I don't necessarily have even 2 minutes to just sit down without something distracting me to breathe. And I think that's where it can become really helpful to incorporate a quick breathing exercise like that into what you're doing. So for me, doing the dishes is sometimes, I hate dishes so much, and we don't have a dishwasher here. So I have to do dishes every day, multiple times a day, and I hate it. And so I notice instantly once I'm doing dishes, you know, a couple minutes in, how frustrated I am usually. And I notice it in how tense I am. So it's the perfect opportunity for me to go, okay, let's just breathe. And now I'm breathing. Now I'm doing that exact practice while I'm washing the dishes. I don't really care that I'm doing the dishes anymore. I'm just focused on how good it feels to breathe. So being able to take, when you're driving, you know, when you're getting frustrated at other drivers, or nursing in the middle of the night, if you're getting up and you're feeding your baby in the middle of the night, and instead of getting frustrated by it, just trying to go, okay, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to focus on me and my breath and get that peaceful moment in wherever you can fit it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Getting that peaceful moment in wherever you can fit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So key.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Andrea, is there anything that you'd like to offer to the moms that are listening to or watching the video today?
Yeah, I think, you know, I am just in a place right now, especially with Bellanova, to connect with other women. And my intention is to build a community of women who are supporting each other, and a place where women can come and have the resources of these other women in our community, like yourself and the other women who have done this series, who want to empower women, who want to be there for support. I just want to create a community for everyone to come together, to have access to that information, and to start feeling powerful and finding, you know, what they connect to, and so I just invite moms and women in general to just connect with me. I have a Facebook page. You can find it facebook.com/Bellanova Birth, or you can visit my website, bellanova.ca. And for those local in Halifax, I'm so happy. I just secured a space this morning, actually, for I'm going to be doing some prenatal yoga in the new year before this. So I am due in March, so before this baby comes. So it'll be really nice to be able to be pregnant and connect with some local pregnant mamas. So if you're looking for some prenatal yoga too, then stay tuned for the details.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And for those moms who want to connect with the Bellanova community, I'll include a link under the video on the clinic website, vitalitynaturalhealth.ca, so that you have quick access to it after you watch the video as well. And I want to express my sincere gratitude, Andrea, for your time today, for carving out that time in your schedule as a busy mom. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be able to connect with you and with the other moms in our community. So I'm very grateful.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure that we'll chat again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today, beautiful mama. For additional resources to nourish the connection with your inner wisdom, visit vitalitynaturalhealth.ca and sign up for the Navigating Motherhood with Confidence free 21-day program. It guides you through a variety of practices and the ways you can integrate them into your life every day. With love, until next time.